What's up guys, Josh here from Mixing Mango with my high level QBD guide. So in this video I'll be showing you the best setup to use to kill the QBD, and this will allow the fastest kills while giving the maximum trip lengths. One thing to note before I get into it, this guide is for high levels, and so I won't be showing the minimum requirements for the QBD, but rather just the requirements to use this method so you get the best kill speed and the longest trips. So the skill requirements are very high, but these levels give the most effective trips. So firstly you'll need max melee, which is 99 attack, strength, defense and constitution. I would say the minimum you could do this method is 95 in all of those, but obviously getting the 99s would be very beneficial and just make the kills a lot easier. You also need 95 prayer for turmoil and soul split. This is pretty much a must. You definitely need that added boost from turmoil. Then 96 herb lore for overloads. The level doesn't really matter, it's just the overloads you need, because again that boost is essential. And then you'll finally need 96 summoning for a pack yak. So you can do this for Wartorp, but it just means you'll have less food in your familiar, which means shorter trips. So the gear setup is fairly straightforward. You'll need the best defensive gear, which means full Bandos or full Torva. You can sort of mix and match this. I personally use full Bandos, but you could use like a Torva helm, body and legs, then use Bandos gloves and boots. That would work perfectly fine. For the weapons you need dual Drygors. The Drygors doesn't matter at all because you're using abilities. The main hand mace may be beneficial because it has the prayer bonus, but I personally use dual rapiers and that works perfectly fine. The ring, you'll need a warrior ring eye or just a normal warrior ring. The normal one's fine, but the eye will just give you a slightly bigger boost. The amulet is a Saradoma's Whisper, which gives you the best melee critical. And the cape is the completionist cape, max cape, or the Tokar cow. The Tokar cow is obviously the lower of those three and will work perfectly fine for this. So on screen now is the invent. You'll need 1 overload, prayer renewal and super anti-fire flask. You'll need 6 super restore flasks, the captain's log from player owned ports, and a 1-click telly, which I'm using the house tabs for this. The rest of the invent is just filled with sharks, and your pack yak is also filled with sharks. So in terms of the ability bar, I would definitely recommend using this setup. So you'll need slice, sever, punish, decimate and dismember for the basics. For the threshold you'll need destroy, flurry and assault. And then for the ultimates, the main one is berserk. I also have overpower on the bar, but I don't actually ever use that. So you could swap out overpower for another basic like fury, it's up to you really. And then I've also got anticipation and freedom. You might be wondering about the last two. This is purely for adrenaline stalling, which I will go over later. This is probably the best bar I'd recommend. You can maybe swap around some stuff, but you definitely need the berserk and those basics, those thresholds rather, to get the best results. So I'm sure most of you will know this, but I'll quickly show you how to get there. So this is where the captain log comes in handy. If you teleport, you will then arrive right outside player owned ports. If you do not have this, then you can just teleport to Port Sarim Lodestone. But what you want to do from here is we just run west, and the QBD layer will be short way west right there. So you go inside. If you have 50 agility, you can use the shortcut, which makes it a lot easier, and that's what I'll be doing in this video. So just run down here. This is the grot worm layer right here. We run down, the shortcut is over here to the south. So just lie down with 50 agility and you will be at the QBD layer. So to go inside you just press pass through and that will take you in. Okay, so we are now at the QBD layer. We have the gear and the invent. There is a yak full of sharks, and so we are ready to kill the QBD. You'll notice here I've got an aura. This doesn't matter, this actually wouldn't even work because the QBD isn't poison. You can use a vampirism or a penance aura, but I don't even use an aura. It would help, but it isn't essential. Also, I think I said that you should use 6 restores. You can get away with 5, but if you're not really sure about killing the QBD, then take 6 just to begin with, and you can cut that down over time. So now right click, press pass through, and I find it best to angle your camera like this so the north arrow is pointing east. So this means you can see pretty much the whole stage. I think if you're playing on fixed screen then it's a bit harder, you're going to have to rotate your camera a bit to see what's happening. So if we just put our prayer on and overload up, then just begin attacking the QBD, use all your basics up, any order really. I just always use slice, that helps a lot because that always cools down the fastest. Then just when you get up to thresholds, use those and take down, the QBD goes down quite quickly in the first phase. Also you'll see that I soul split my health back up quite a lot, and that is done. So now, as I said adrenaline installing earlier, if you use freedom anticipation here, I've gone back up to full adrenaline without actually using, without attacking the QBD. So that's always useful, especially for the next phase, which I'll show you why in a minute. Although these might not actually be ready, so just use them whenever. Also, I generally dodge these, so if you just run through them and then you can not get hit by their attacks. I don't normally dodge the firewalls because it is actually fairly hard as you're in melee distance and you're quite close up, but you can attempt it if you want, but I normally just tank the firewalls. So now for this wave, if we just run straight through it, we might not take much damage. We just use Berserk here and then get a lot of damage. With the recent Berserk nerf, I'd recommend using Berserk as little as possible because, as you'll notice, I am taking quite a bit more damage now. But we can quickly get this phase over, and there we go, and move on to the next one. See, Berserk is still active. Luckily there's not many giant worms, so I'm not taking too much damage, but now you'll see Berserk is off and I'm literally just, they're hitting zeros on me now, so it does actually damage you a bit more. So this is the hardened case phase where she will she's more resistant to melee and range. For this phase, for the tortured souls, it's a bit harder to lure them, but you just want to kind of, again, just run back into them, try and make their attacks sort of go into each other so you don't take the damage. But again, just keep doing the kill as normal. This kill is just basics and thresholds. You'll see that the guy, the time stop soul, has spawned there. You can sort of ignore him for a bit, but then you do want to just get rid of him. If the kill is nearly done, then you could just ignore him completely, get the kill done, and then go kill him. But just be careful. Now she's off the hardened case phase, so we can now just do a bit more damage, and you've got to be careful of that. Just run up to the side. You'll take constant 450s. Gotta watch your prayer. You'll take constant 450s, but that's not too bad. Just eat one food. Now there we go. So we can now just about outrun these. So just click the artifact. They will then either hit these worms or disappear, and that is a QBD kill. That was quite fast. I think it was a bit slow because it had the hardened case phase, but you're looking at an average speed of around 2 to 2.5 minute kills, so it is quite fast, and that means you'll get 2 kills per overload dose, which at the moment I won't because I'm just going to stay in the loot area. But as you saw, I came in here and then used regenerate just so you can get a bit of extra health back. Now we're going to go into the coffer and decent loot, runite ore. I don't think any of this stuff is noted, so if you just want to bank it all. And now if we leave through here, go to the, that was the wrong button, go to the underground portal, and we will be back outside the QBD layer. So that is pretty much the basics of one kill. I was kind of concentrating a bit and sort of talking kind of fast as everything was happening, so you can just go re-watch that. I mean, the basic stuff was there, so pretty much first 2 phases just basics and thresholds. Adrenaline install a bit, especially in the second phase. At the end of that you might want to adrenaline install so you can get straight up to Berserk. Third phase, use Berserk straight off and just do a lot of damage in the queen. Even on the hardened case phase where she turns green, you will still do quite a lot of damage through that. So just use that, you'll get her down very fast. And then the 4th stage, just heal up a bit. I would say on the 4th stage, if you stay around 3k life points, that's perfectly fine. Maybe if you're new to it, then just stay a bit higher, but once you get used to it, you can stay to 3k, and then just use assaults, or use thresholds and basics, just to get her down as quickly as possible, because the 4th phase is the most deadliest. She has the tortured souls, the 4 of them. She's got the time stop soul, and she's got her fire breath along with 3 fire waves. So it is quite a hard phase. So you just want to get that down as quickly as possible while taking little damage. So definitely use these destroy and assault. I don't actually use flurry, but you can if you want to, and that will actually kill some of the tortured souls as well. So that is pretty much the basics to killing the queen. As you'll see there, 1 kill I used 5 food, so I've still got 30 in my yak, and then quite a lot of my invent still. So the food wise it isn't too bad, and every kill will pay for your food, so for your supply cost, so that isn't too bad. It's pretty good loot as well, as you saw. So that is kill of the QBD. So I'm now just going to go over a bit about the loots and just some tips for the QBD. So like I said earlier, you can get 2 kills in overload dose, so you're looking at about 2 to 2.5 minute kills. In terms of money per hour, that is around 5 mil plus, so it is very good money. And if you're wearing a Slayer helm and you have a Black Dragon's task, you can kill the QBD for that, and you'll get even faster kills. So you're looking at maybe 6 mil an hour, so even higher. So it is actually quite good money. In terms of kills per trip, you can normally get 8 to 10 kills. If you're lucky, you can get 12, so you can actually use all your flasks in one trip, but normally you're looking at 8 to 10, so still it is quite a big number of kills. So in terms of the loots, you're mainly looking at getting the mini loots rather than the main royal crossbow pieces. So you always get dragon bones, royal dragon hide and royal bolts, which is always 50k plus. You then get some other items, like the best ones are sort of runite ores for 300k. There's grimy lantadines 400k, and then just a whole lot of seeds and logs, so they are always good to get. And then you're looking at each chest to be around sort of 200k, so each kill is worth quite a bit. You've also got onyx bolts for 250k, and then you can also get coins as well. You can get 150k or 200k coins, so that's always quite a lot. So really the mini loots do stack up, but you can get the royal crossbow pieces, so you can get the royal torsion spring, which I just showed in that little clip there. You can also get the royal sight frame and bolt stabilizer. These are all sort of 200 to 200k plus really, so they are actually very good, but they are rare, so you're not going to get them too often. There's also the Dragon Bone upgrade kit, which is 200k, so that's pretty good, and it drops a Draconic Visage for 1.2 mil, which is rare, so that's nice to get. And finally the Dragon Kite Shield for 750k, so again, quite a nice drop right there. You can also edit this invent slightly, so just change stuff that you want, but you could use Adrenaline Flask if you have them, and that could help a bit, especially if you just want to get up to Berserk, if you're a bit far away. But I don't use them. They might help, but they aren't really needed, so that's fine. And in terms of dying, you will die sometimes, like you just get comboed sometimes, it's out of your control and you'll die. So to get back to your grave will spawn normally outside the QBD layer, so where I was standing before I went in. So you can just run back. You can easily get there in like 2 minutes. You always protect your captain's log automatically, so that's just a quick teleport. You can get back there straight away. Not gonna lie, most of the people out there are bots, so you're not really gonna get blessed, so just make sure you do get back there in time. I think sometimes it actually does spawn out the side of the whole cave, but then there'll be an arrow on the mini-map, so you can just follow that and see. So that is pretty much everything about the QBD for this high-level guide. So if you guys enjoyed, remember to leave the video a like. If you want to see more guides and more videos, then hit that subscribe button. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later.